Hey, Andrew, how are you, mate?
I'm good, yourself?
Former SAS warrior, Afghanistan vet, emerging flag bearer for the Liberal Party's Conservative wing. Andrew Hastie is a man in a hurry.
They want to fill our streets with silent, soulless cars, made in China, packed with tech that we didn't design and that we don't control.
A series of provocative social media posts over the past few days and weeks have elevated Andrew Hastie to the centre of coalition politics.
The real risk is from these alarmist scientists, lobbyists, grifters and foreign businesses who benefit from the net zero transition.
From abandoning net zero, a stance he accepts could see him turfed out of shadow cabinet, condemning immigration that he says is making Australians strangers in our own home, to ominous warnings about the decline of Western ideas and values. Hastie is relentlessly playing to the Liberal Party's Conservative base and challenging the party's direction under leader Sussan Ley.
If we don't act, we can expect anger and frustration. We might even die as a political movement. So be it.
It's a startling admission. The Liberal Party, according to Andrew Hastie, may well be on the brink of extinction. Confidants say his recent activism is born of frustration about the party's election drubbing and ongoing poll slump. But his approach is not uniting the coalition.
Clearly, Andrew is tapping a vein of frustration here, including among young people online, so all power to him.
I think he could be a better team player than he's displaying at the moment. I mean, I understand the frustration when a party goes away that you don't want to go. But it's not your party. You don't own it.
Sources inside the party room say Andrew Hastie does not have the numbers to challenge Sussan Ley, even though some who backed Angus Taylor for leader after the election have since swung their support behind him, partly to spur generational change. But there's also a view among Liberals, inside and outside the party room, that Hastie wants to challenge for the leadership. The only question, they say, is whether it's before or after Christmas.
Look, I support Sussan. Anyone who's speculating otherwise is being mischievous.
This is Andrew Hastie.
A WA-based Member of Parliament since the 2015 by-election, Andrew Hastie is no stranger to speaking his mind.
My personal view is that the fighting DNA of a close combat unit is best preserved when it's exclusively male. Now, that's not a popular view.
Comments that helped undermine the coalition's appeal to women during this year's election campaign and prompted a clarification.
I said what I said, but the thing that the Australian people need to know that under a Dutton-led coalition government, we will have a policy that is open to all Australians for combat roles.
Other headlines were of his own making, like this 2019 op-ed, loosely linking the rise of China to that of Nazi Germany.
These comments are inflammatory, not helpful, they're pretty immature.
Since the May election calamity, Andrew Hastie has been busy building his profile and showcasing his views on hot-button issues. But the danger for him, as for any ambitious MP, is that he ends up burning out.
I've seen quite a few leadership aspirants over my time, and my own experience was that myself and other colleagues were never impressed with people who went out and shot their mouth off.
Hastie's detractors say he has handled criticism of his social media activism poorly. This week, after some Liberals anonymously told the Australian newspaper that Hastie should ease up on his campaign, he rose to the bait and blasted colleagues as nameless cowards and muppets.
People who speak out individually perhaps forget that what they're telling the world is they don't have the strength, integrity, capacity to bring their own party along with them.
While Hastie's Instagram and Facebook posts have elicited thousands of positive responses, they've also exposed him to ridicule.
Adding their note to this symphony in steel.
One Liberal frontbencher told 7:30 that he appeared to be campaigning to become Prime Minister in the 1950s. He's drawn the ire of economists who've savaged his calls to resurrect the nation's car industry, an industry that relied heavily on taxpayer subsidies and tariffs. For Hastie, the blowback has been an opportunity to continue the fight.
What we do over the next 2 years is so important. And a lot of people would like us to stay exactly where we are, including some people on our party side. but we can't. The world has changed.
Those in power in some parts of the Liberal Party may feel frustrated. They may feel threatened by what Andrew Hastie is saying. But I must say there's a great frustration among our membership that's reflective of the frustration out there in the broader Australian public.
You've got to get into government to shift the Lego pieces of the economy and culture. So if you're not going to play the team game, you're not going to get there. So Hastie, I think, is ambitious. He will want to shift those big Lego pieces. He'll therefore want to get in government, and he will play the team game.
Whether Andrew Hastie can persuade colleagues that he's the right person to rebuild the Liberal Party will become clear eventually. While there is criticism of Sussan Ley's performance as leader, insiders say there must be an overwhelming case for change, and that case doesn't exist now.
Well, I understand Mr Hastie's extraordinarily popular in his own seat, but if I were he, I would be considering what the views were of people in what I call the Menzies seats. Sadly, no longer Liberal, many of them, in the inner city metropolitan seats. Because there's a sort of curve of voting, and there's people on the far right, people on the far left, and then there's all the people in the middle. And if you want to get into government, you cannot get there without winning that middle ground.